people, not just on TV. Hopefully you won't need them. But if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell at 251-1111.
If your hair is thinning and you're looking for an easy solution that will restore your hair, check out IHRS PRP Platelet-Rich Plasma. PRP, using your own platelets and cells to restore your hair where it's thinning. Combined with their FDA-approved laser hair therapy and pharmaceutical-grade products, all three will deliver one better result. Call IHRS now for a free evaluation and to find out if their PRP 45-minute treatment will work for you. Now there is a solution for any man or woman with any degree of hair loss. And it's all in one place. Call 904-777-IHRS. IHRS has been restoring hair for over 30 years. The staff at IHRS knows what it's like to lose their hair. And that's why they're ready to help you grow your hair back.
Schedule your free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be Northeast Florida's Silverado truck headquarters. With nearly 200 Silverados in stock, your perfect truck is waiting for you at Nimnick. During the month of February, well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Silverado 1500 pickup. Browse at nimnickchevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
The Beach Boys. Live in concert. Saturday, February 25th at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. Serving USA. The Beach Boys return to the stage. Tickets on sale now at theapp.com. Don't miss The Beach Boys live.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank, a bank that goes above and beyond to serve you. South State has so many convenient locations to serve you, and now a beautiful newly constructed branch on King Street in Riverside. South State Bank is known for its excellent customer service. They make banking easy. Trust me, I know. And I trust South State Bank for all my banking needs, personal, business, loans, and beyond, and you can too. South State Bank, banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Roland, 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 we're all calling Roland. The toilet's overflowing, oh my.
When you've got a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reese Plumbing, 260-7059.
This is David Garrard, and after the doctors fixed my knees, I followed their recovery plan, and I'm as mobile as I was when I played in the NFL.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, high banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at Daytona500.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. News today from Tallahassee. Florida State head football coach Mike Norvell has signed a multi-year contract extension that will keep Norvell in Tallahassee through the 2029 season. Norvell led the Seminoles to a 10-3 season with a number 10 finish in the coaches poll and a number 11 ranking in the final Associated Press poll in 2022. It was the 25th 10-win season in program history for FSU and their highest finish in the AP poll since 2016. Florida State returns to Doak Campbell Stadium April 15th for the Garnet and Gold Spring Showcase. It's a big night for Florida men's basketball on the road at number 3 Alabama. Coverage begins at 8:30 on 1010 AM and the AM stream. 72 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Oh, the spin! Oh! Unbelievable! And no, I'm not talking about President Joe Biden a night ago, although I'm willing to wager if I added some comments there, it may fire up a few. Instead, I'm talking about something that is far more important. That is the National Football League, where today, Roger Goodell, with the State of the League address, what a total embarrassment by the commissioner of the National Football League. Once again, looking at you, the consumer, the proud American who spends so much money for tickets, so much money for outstanding entertainment, yet he thinks you're stupid. He thinks more than that. He thinks you're a bot. All right, he thinks you're sheep. He thinks you're a zombie. For him to make the comments that he made today is absolutely appalling. That in the success of this league, that is so far ahead of everything else in the world of sports. We have the players coming in 30 days. We have pitchers and catchers reporting in a week. We have gentlemen start your engines in a week. We've got big conference basketball games tonight, including the Gators. They're going to try to win it. Number 3, Alabama. I mean, it's coming up crunch time, second half of the season in the NBA, where the King last night set the all-time record for the most points in the history of the NBA. Hockey is, for those in that particular category, like the host, we're all fired up. Yet football dwarfs them all. This destroys them all. And you have a commissioner that'll look right into the camera and not tell the truth. Just flat out sell you on anything that is being asked to him. He's got the ability to spin, to divert the most obvious scenarios, almost to the point where, for some, I wonder, does he have you second-guessing? Maybe the officiating isn't as bad as I always thought it was. Roger Goodell today grabbed the microphone and actually told us that the officiating in the National Football League is the best that it's ever been, and that he's proud of what's happening. Here's what I know. I listen, and I listen all the time. I listen to players. I listen to coaches. I listen to other members of the media. I also listen to fans. Okay? 9 to 5 working fans who love this game. And each and every year, without limitations, the number one problem that NFL fans have is what is going on with the officiating. And it is totally egregious at times, including what we just saw in an AFC championship game. As a matter of fact, Roger Goodell today, during his address, even mentioned that particular play on third down and had the wherewithal. Are you ready for this? Had the wherewithal to try to sell us that this is a common play in the NFL. That a redo, because the clock was running, is something that you see each and every week in professional football. I mean, no, we don't see stuff like that each and every week. It was just one thing after another. And, I feel so bad for Roger Goodell that he is put in this position and honestly has very little control about some of the most obvious questions that are headed his way. In my opinion, he's sounded totally unprepared, particularly with the diversity question that came. We'll get to that a little bit later on. And you know that is going to be something that's going to come up year in, year out, okay? Questions about diversity within the National Football League. Also, Roger Goodell, other things he said today, trying to sell us on the fact that the only reason that concussions are now up 18% is because all of a sudden NFL doctors have better equipment. They're able to make a deeper analysis, a deeper, whatever it is, diagnosis on what is a concussion and what is not a concussion, and that now, with their advanced technology, something that years ago may not have been diagnosed as a concussion is being diagnosed as one now. Are you kidding me? This is the type of stuff he's selling us. And, Roger Goodell, what does he do? Seriously. I mean, when I look at Roger Goodell, I mean, he slaps backs. He kisses babies. He'll shake an occasional hand. What does he do? He removed himself completely from the Deshaun Watson scenario, including the rebuttal, the appeal. Today, with the very interesting question by Jim Trotter from NFL Media about diversity, he said that he didn't oversee that particular part of what is going on with you. Well, no kidding. He's the commissioner, but he's never responsible. He's never the guy. He's never the decision maker. He makes $57 million a year, and I'm still trying to figure out what he does outside of spin things for the owners. The message was clear today, ladies and gentlemen. We all love football, but make no mistake about it. The most important thing is not you, the folks who pay the rate. It's not the players and the players' safety. It's about making money. It's just like any other major company. And Roger Goodell proved it today. 3 more games in London, couple of games in Germany, flexing Thursday night games. How do you think that players and coaches are going to adapt to being told on like a Monday morning, instead of playing Sunday, you got a game on Thursday? Now, old school's left the building. Can you imagine what Tom Coughlin would have done if you told him that? Then he goes on to tell us, and apparently he's got the data, that there's no difference in Sunday to Thursday as far as injured players compared to Sunday to Sunday. Let me go over that one more time. He says there's no difference between playing a game on Thursday as far as guys who are questionable, or, they changed that all around as well. Remember the league used to simplify it for us? It would be probable, questionable, or doubtful. Now it's limited practice, no practice, and you're either questionable or you're out. Okay, if they put a like a minus sign on there, that basically means that you have been cleared and you will play. Well, again, today he tells us there's no difference with injured players who have the ability to play on a Thursday compared to playing the next Sunday. Now, obviously, no one was prepared for this. No one was prepared for that type of question. So I imagine there's people right now, hardworking reporters, they're going to go back and do a little bit of investigative reporting on this to find out if it's true. And by all means, do so. Because Goodell today proved time and again that he does not tell you the truth. I think he's in a position right now where he just believes this league is so powerful and I can say whatever I want to say, and I'm talking to sheep. these people are going to buy it because they love the product so much. They're like, whatever. Okay, the officiating's going to stink. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. I don't care. Give me back my football. And for a lot of people here on the 8th day of February, this is tough on you. You know, you'd already rather have it be August, and you'd give up the next 6 months. Let's play a clip today. Here's Roger Goodell asked flat out about the officiating this past season in the National Football League. Here is your commissioner.
When you look at officiating, I don't think it's ever been better in the league. There are over 42,000 plays in a season. Multiple infractions could occur on any play. Take that out and extrapolate that. That's hundreds, if not millions, of potential fouls. And our officials do an extraordinary job of getting those. Are there mistakes in the context of that? Yes. They are not perfect, and officiating never will. But we've also had, obviously, replay and other aspects that help us address those issues to make sure they're not something that we can't correct on the field.
Right, but we don't know what you use and what you do not use, and when you can use them and when you cannot use them. Aaron Rodgers this week, before he goes on that 4-day hide in a shack, told us that the officiating is one of the major problems that he witnessed this year in the NFL. You go to that game, the redo on 3rd down, Joe Burrow getting hit with a grounding, a 15-yard personal foul for intentional grounding, which was a very debatable call. If you remember on television, I think it was Dean Blandino who said it. He totally disagreed with the call. And here's the point of it all, okay? As consumers, we're very forgivable, right? I mean, JJ, you happen to be of the human era supporter.
I'm with
your
Goodell
world.
on this.
In your world, you'd have them make a call, and regardless of how wrong it is, you made the call, you stick with the call, forget about the instant replay.
That's me. I don't agree that officiating has been the best it's ever been, but I do agree with him that, there is human error. It's part of the game.
Roger Goodell today, and I'm surprised. He's a smart guy. He's a lawyer. I'm just blown away that he doesn't have people that he can bounce stuff off where he can answer this question properly, okay? This is by far the biggest concern that NFL fans have. What is going on with officiating? It's far and away number one. And accountability, the ability to look and say, you know what, this is a major concern. And we're doing everything that we can to make it better. And as a matter of fact, we need to do more to make it better. In my opinion, the downfall of Tom Coughlin, and at that point, the downfall of Dave Caldwell, even though I think Caldwell had probably overstayed his time here. But with Coughlin, when they signed Nick Foles, and when Coughlin doubled down and looked into the cameras and told you as Jaguar fans that they did not make a mistake by re-signing Blake Bortles and giving him that massive amount of money, for me, that was it. Because you could say what you want about Tom Coughlin and his old school, hard-ass type of persona, but at that particular time, all of a sudden, truth was in doubt for me. I could no longer take him to his word because he was so afraid to come on out and say, we blew it. I mean, we made a massive mistake here. And I remember the reaction as I do every night here. Okay, I think at that particular time I was on in the afternoon. But I listened to you people, and you were fed up. You couldn't believe that this man that, I don't know if you loved him, you certainly respected him, tried to double down on a terrible signing. Admitting your failure, admitting that you're wrong, can be rewarding. First of all, it cleans out your conscience. And secondly, people appreciate it. People appreciate the fact that you make mistakes, that you are human. It's not all about your title. It's not all about the money that you make. You are vulnerable, okay? Roger Goodell should have been vulnerable today. He doesn't have to turn around. I don't care if you're digging a ditch or you had 5 minutes off out of a court case today and you caught it on the NFL Network. You can't lie to NFL fans and then just sit there and expect to get patted on the back. Own it. The officiating is awful. I still don't know what a catch is. I have a better chance explaining to you what was in that balloon last week than how I could explain to you what is a catch and not a catch in the NFL. A catch. We don't know. You could be sitting in a bar with 6 or 7 friends, and half of your friends will say it's a catch, and half of your friends will say, he was juggling it. It's a hard job. I'm not saying it's not a hard job. It's a brutally difficult job. But don't dumb down the listeners. Don't dumb down your fans and tell them that it's the best that it's ever been. I made this comment 2 weeks ago, actually about a week and a half ago. I'm going to stick with it, JJ. I really hope that this year's Super Bowl goes to a team that wins it on a bad call. I want to see a fan base, and I want to see a team get royally screwed. I don't care who it is.
Now, are we thinking like last play of the game, like a missed penalty, or maybe a catch, not a catch?
Something deep in the fourth quarter.
A flag that shouldn't have been thrown? Like, how would you prefer
all of the above. Honestly,
on one play.
All of the above. I don't care what. I don't care if it's a flag that's thrown or not thrown.
Just something egregious.
I want it where the people are livid after the game. That truly you can go back to hockey and look at Buffalo and Dallas in the Stanley Cup, and some people will point to that. Right. People will go to 75 and Ed Armbrister and Carlton Fisk. People are like, 75? But what the hell are you talking about? People will go to the Don Denkinger call between St. Louis and Kansas City when Joaquin Andujar had his right foot on the first base bag and Denkinger called him safe. There's been calls.
Miami, Ohio State?
Yes. Miami. That flag came in 10 seconds later. I want a fan base to get screwed. And because I think Philly is like the worst human beings on this planet, I can't think of anything better than Philadelphia thinking that they just won their second Super Bowl in 5 years, and all of a sudden you turn around and there's a flag on the carpet, and you find out that the call is being made where a call shouldn't have been made, and all of a sudden Kansas City is lifting the Lombardi when they shouldn't. That's honestly what I want to see.
It might take that.
It might,
because we've seen it in like title games, like the Rams Saints a couple years ago. The pass interference, not pass interference, whatever it was. I don't even remember at this point. We see it a lot in those type of games, but never when 100 million people are watching or whatever it is.
How much you want to wager that if someone said to Roger Goodell, Miles Jack wasn't down, he'd have no idea what we are talking about? And that's an AFC championship.
I'm 90% positive you're right about that.
That's an AFC championship game that was played in January of 2018. That's my point. Mm-hmm. We've had awful calls, and that's that. It's a deal with it, okay? The only way that this is going to happen, and I'm telling you, the amount of money, the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are wagered on the Super Bowl, that's where the heat is going to come. And that is what is going to force wholesale changes with officiating. Okay? I don't want to get into the world of age discrimination and things along those lines, but so much has to be done to change this for the better. And we're just not getting it right now. Today was a colossal failure.
You just can't have a lot of old people working in some jobs. It's not like, listen, I'm sure they have an age restriction for like pilots. You know, I'm sure you can't be like 84 and flying everyone around. Like, there's certain jobs you just can't do at a certain age. It's not you're discriminating against them because you feel some type of way. It's just your time's come, you can't do the job anymore.
LeBron sets the record last night. I saw a whole bunch of, okay, old man, that's it. You've done enough. Go away now. Okay, this is a young man's game. Yeah, you grew up, you heard about Willie Mays patrolling the outfield as a member of the New York Mets, and it was sad for a lot of people. Players get old. All right? In our profession, they get old, and you got to do something else. Why is being a part-time official such a standard above everything else? And he wasn't asked it today, which is disappointing, but, you know, they still are totally not accountable. There's one pool reporter who's going to ask the official, and only the head official, a question after the game. And reporters know this, that a lot of reporters their mind works like coaches. They think they're the best. They think they're going to ask the best questions. They think that they are going to be able to get the information to be able to deliver to the reader or the listener. Everyone's wired that way. And when you send one guy in there to do it, what if that guy is a little bit, soft, right? What if he's afraid to ask the difficult questions? What if he's afraid to ask the tough questions? Why can't you make these officials available to the media just like the players and coaches are? They get fined if they don't speak. They've got these officials sneak out the back door, and they're affecting ball games. All right. Hopefully I don't have to complain about this anymore. I hate to start with it.
Well, you're going to want to the day after the Super Bowl, you mean?
Yes, I'm going to want to do.
By the way, I just saw this earlier today. 50 million Americans, they estimate, will be betting on the game. So like you said, when it hurts people in their pocket, that's when they start really caring.
Yeah.
$16 billion estimated to be gambled on the Super Bowl just in America this year.
It's been a very emotional day around here. It really has. The Trevor Lawrence piece is, it is absolutely spectacular. It blew me away. I want to spend some time on that, and it's the leadership here. You talk about a favorite son. This was just so impressive. And then again, you think that he's a 23-year-old man. I was hoping that I was going to start with that and stay on that and gush about that. I can't control news. When Roger Goodell drops a scud on us like this, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to change mid-sentence. So congratulations, Roger. You do get the top billing, which is brought to you by Shmunez Vision. But we got other things to get into as well, okay, including Mike Norvell, a contract extension. Last year at this time, this man was on the hot seat. Last year at this man, the word out of Tallahassee was they didn't have enough money to fire him and pay his buyout. The guy turns things around. He goes 10-3. I believe Florida State's on the come. I totally enjoyed their season. I think it's going to be fantastic to watch what they do in 2023. But why a contract extension? Why $8 million on an average a year for a guy who's 18 and 16? Feel free to earn it. He's done a wonderful job in the portal. He's done a wonderful job with Jordan Travis. He hasn't proven that he can recruit freshmen. Okay? There's no need for it. There's no need right now to redo Josh Allen, who's got a year remaining on that contract, right? There's just no need for it at this particular time. There's no need to give this money right now to Mike Norvell. Is it going to send a message in recruiting? I don't know. So surprised by the timing. I hope it works. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pounding this decision. I'm just surprised by the timing of it. It makes very little sense to me But nonetheless, that's my opinion there. So we got a lot to do here over the next couple of hours. Thank you to Shmunez Vision each and every night. They do bring you the opening comments right here on the program. You know, it's really interesting. I've been doing some research here and just kind of figuring out what goes on and what does not go on. And, you know, where I come from in Boston, there was this old adage that if something is wrong with your vehicle, you only would send a certain person in to get that estimate. You understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to get into any of the particulars because I know we are way, way too sensitive right now as a country. But only a certain individual would go in and look at that mechanic in the eye. Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of bad business going on in a lot of different operations. And some of those involve directly your eyes, okay? You may be told you need this. You may be told you need that. You may be told you need something that is outrageously expensive. Just because it costs the most doesn't mean it's the best product. What you need is a sit-down and a full-out maintenance when it comes to your eyes. Pick up the phone and call Shmunez. 299-2906. They're going to tell you exactly what's going on with your eyes, such as, oh, I have cataracts. I'm over 50. I need cataract surgery, right? Wrong. You may not need it at all. It's only one of the many things that they can provide. Laser eye surgery. Okay? So just remember that. The most expensive doesn't always mean that's the way to go. There are other ways to go about it when you go out and see a genuine company, a practice, a family-based operation that has been successful around here for a tremendous amount of time. Just go to shmunezvision.com or give them a call at 299-2906. Shmunez Vision. Care you can see.
Early afternoon means lunchtime.
But the greatest thing is, it's my favorite part of the day with my 4 best friends.
Joe C., Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, and Mia O'Brien. Yeah.
Oh!
They are XL Primetime, noon to 3 on 1010XL.
Honda has done it again with their all-new 2023 lineup for SUVs. Passport, Pilot, HRV, CRV, and the popular CRV Hybrid. We have SUVs for any budget. Visit your local Honda dealer. We're dealing.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
I want my Woody's barbecue.
All the chicken you can eat, just $12.49? Not fake news. High Flying Jacko here, and backed by overwhelming demand. Woody's Barbecue presents their all-you-can-eat chicken every Sunday with all the trimmings for just $12.49. Every Sunday at your nearby Woody's.
When I want barbecue chicken, I go to Woody's.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat.
Want to kick off the new year without any credit card debt? Sure you do. You can do it with Loan Pronto's Express Equity Line of Credit. Wipe out all those credit cards now. Prosser here. Rates are down, and this is a great move to get on more solid financial footing for the new year. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a portion of the equity you have and enjoy a rate that's a whole lot less than what the banks charge on credit cards. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days. You can access up to 95% of your home's equity. Use that money. Pay off high-interest loans of any kind, credit cards, personal loans, car loans, whatever. Consolidate everything into one easy payment. Even if you did a total refi last year, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program and keep your main loan intact. So call Loan Pronto now, 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Also go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 8, 1991, Terry Norris knocks down Sugar Ray Leonard twice and beats him to defend his WBC Super Welterweight title.
I'm Edmund Denfeld.
And I'm Lindsay Thompson.
Thank you to the players for supporting Flagler Health Plus and the St. Johns County School District and leading the BRAVE program, which encourages youth to be resilient and voice emotions.
It's 27 days until the players.
All right, Ballou here, checking in with words of wisdom to be applied in life in your business from the business attorneys at Jimerson Burrow. Let's go to Mark Twain. He once said this, and I do quote, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." End of quote. Breaking news has just rolled in here across the desk with Jimerson Burrow. They are hiring. They're a growing law firm. They have been considered one of the best places to work over the last decade. An award-winning culture and top-of-the-market compensation. So, business lawyers, paralegal. If right now you're looking for a change, you're looking for a better company, go to jimersonfirm.com and look for the careers page. Again, business lawyers, currently unhappy with your situation, looking for a fresh start. This also applies to anyone who is a paralegal. Go to the careers page at jimersonfirm.com.
To be our best selves, we need to take care of our whole self. That includes your spirit, mind, and your body. At the First Coast YMCA, our members find balance in spirit, mind, and body with unlimited group exercise classes, adult sports leagues, health coaching, and programs designed for chronic disease prevention. And if your resolution is to save money this month, we'll waive the join fee. Discover all the benefits of a Y membership and find your why at fcymca.org.
Custom fireplaces, outdoor kitchens, and more. You dream it, they build it at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Schedule a showroom tour and let CSS help you create your dream space. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, in all business, there's supposed to be some mission statement that keeps a business on course for the long term. Can you share it with us?
David, at Underwoods, because of the fact we sell the most precious metals and gemstones put together by the best craftsmen in truly stunning pieces that are worn for adornment, adding that most of the time these pieces of jewelry are being given to celebrate life's most important occasions, it just doesn't seem right to call it a mission statement. Instead, because all of us at Underwoods are driven by a passion for what we do, we call it a passion statement. It goes like this. At Underwoods, we're devoted to being the best jeweler in the South. We accomplish this through our long-term philosophy that quality in merchandise, presentation, personal service, and our integrity will bring the customer back to shop with us. This same Underwood experience will create new customers through the endorsements from our satisfied customers, keeping in mind the returning customer sets Underwood's future.
Underwood Jewelers.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I get to know your name. Well, I can trace your private number, baby.
All right, Roger Goodell has spoken. We're all worse off for it. A terrible day by him. He has all year to get prepared for it. I'll at least give him credit for the attempt, the effort on that spin. That was an A-plus effort. He was cocked and loaded for that particular question, but there were others that, still the answer is unacceptable. That's the bottom line. There were others that came in that were equally as bad. Perhaps we'll get to some of that a little bit later on in the program. I do want to get off that because I hate being so negative. I do. Honestly, I do. I mean, all day today I was driving around thinking this is great. Look at what's happened here with Trevor Lawrence and what a story this is. Totally unexpected, absolutely out of nowhere, and all of a sudden on the same particular day, something like this does happen. But anyway, let me give you the gist of what he did. It's called the Players Tribune. And, this is a media device that is player only. And, the players have the ability to come out and basically state whatever it is that they want to say. And in this case, when it came to Trevor Lawrence, I just never thought that there would be a reason for him to pen a memo, and it became more than a memo. It became a very long letter to Jacksonville where he touched everything that you could possibly want as a fan. And, the first, and here I just explained Goodell, who's got to be 50-something, maybe 60. And he's not telling you the truth. You got a 23-year-old quarterback here who is so humble, okay, so real that he took you through the entire season. And there were things that he said that I honestly did not know. I mean, I suspected, but no one ever said anything about it, and that's about being here. I'll get there in a moment. What he did is he came out and he said he didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be home, okay? He wanted to be getting prepared, obviously, for this football game. And he went on to talk about the memory of coming from behind, down 27-0. He saluted the home fans for not leaving and just how incredible that atmosphere was and what those home fans mean. He talked about being 4-8, and after that Detroit game, going over to Christian Kirk's house with Zay Jones, and the three of them were kind of staring into space, wondering why they played so poorly, wondering what had gone wrong. He said that he was never a guy who had a chip on his shoulder. Okay, he said that as a 22-year-old. Never had a chip on his shoulder. Never played football to try to prove someone wrong. Well, by reading this, it appeared to me that from the age of 22 to 23, Trevor Lawrence changed. He realized that he's playing for so much more than just the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's playing for the city. He's playing for this fan base. And it's almost as if he created more of a chip on his shoulder. He learned how to dislike. He learned how to get angry. He learned how to become a great leader, okay? He acknowledged his interceptions. He acknowledged his mistakes and was well aware that people were referring to him as a bust, okay? So many of you, and again, that's the great thing about fandom. Doesn't matter anymore. Every fan base does it. They fire coaches. They fire offensive and defensive coordinators. They fire quarterback. Everyone does it, college and pro. And he's aware of it. Do you have any idea what that really means? And for those of you who are younger, okay, for generations, forever, you can go back to Ted Williams. Okay, there has been this, and it's so wrong, but there's always been this feeling that I ignore the media. Okay, I don't read the papers. I don't listen to talk radio. That has been around since the game has been around. And I've always wondered about that. And you look at guys like Steve Carlton and Ted Williams, probably the most infamous of all. And then you saw the Robin, and there's been so many different ones. But Trevor's fully aware of what's going on in this city, what is being said about him in this city. And again, it's another example of he gets it, because back to those who have played the role of ignoring the media, they think they're hurting the sports writer. They think they're hurting the talk show host. They aren't, man. We're still going to talk. I'm still going to talk. Whether someone talks to me or doesn't talk to me, I'm still going to talk about them. Sports writers are still going to write about them. And we're here for one reason, to deliver the message to the fans. This show is to give the message, in my opinion, to the fans. So whether you want to acknowledge it or say you don't pay attention, that's up to you. This man's 23. And he came right out and took us through the quote-unquote Nick Foles trials and tribulation. It was unbelievable what he said. He also came out today, and let me find the exact part of the story here. This is the one that got me more than any. And I wasn't completely aware of it yet. Boy, this is long. I joked earlier and said Generation Z wouldn't read it. Every one of them's calling me a boomer. Did you read it? Did you like it? Did you have to take a potty break during? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just having some fun with you. Trust me, I am. All right, let me find it here. Damn it. I can't even find it. Anyway, to paraphrase what he said was, it was so obvious to him after the coaching change last year that players didn't want to be here. Okay? And very rarely in professional athletics will you ever publicly hear someone state that for one reason and one reason only, because they're getting paid, because they're under contract. And they're always going to give you what you expect to hear. We like to refer to it as canned answers. Trevor Lawrence told us today that after the coaching change, man, there were people that were here that wanted out and wanted to be anywhere but Duval. And obviously, when Doug Peterson came aboard and the coaching staff came aboard, that was a very difficult process to navigate and change. And we kept hearing about it from everyone involved, right? But it was legitimately happening. And they survived the 5-game losing streak in October. They survived that blasting in Detroit. And they overcame it to the point where what? They had an unbelievable end of the season, came a couple of major mistakes away from going to an AFC championship game. And this was totally, absolutely, and honestly recognized today by Trevor Lawrence in his piece, his letter to Jacksonville with the Players Tribune. I've seen retirement thank yous before. I've never read anything like this. As a matter of fact, and JJ, you jump in here, I can't think of anything that is on the same platform. Not only here in Jacksonville, I'm talking about just in general. Can you think of anything that is close to this?
I can't bring a particular thing up, but I know that the Players Tribune does a lot of this stuff.
Okay, I don't read the Players Tribune all that much.
I don't read it at all.
Because it's usually gushy and they're promoting a product or.
Well, there's just it's like hey, I want to tell you from my mouth. I don't want to whatever. But yeah, I don't read this, but I'm sure every quarterback does some type of thing like that. I honestly don't know.
He wraps it up with it was always the Jags, Trevor. So he now backs off into the sunlight and will enjoy some time off. But what an unbelievable address by him today. And, I mean, to put that now there and realize that this franchise is getting ready for year 3. He won't be 24 until October. And, you know, I'm a stickler with a lot of things. And something for me that has been so sorely lacking is leadership and stability. Okay? Huge. Absolutely huge. Jacksonville has had no stability. They have a different coach every year. They have a different offensive coordinator every year. You got squabbling. You've got talk of backstabbing in the front office, former regime, whatever. Okay? They got stability now. Hopefully Jim Bob Cooter stays. I know he's interviewed in both Carolina and Tampa Bay as an offensive coordinator. We saw earlier in the week that Doug Peterson said it was good buddy Frank Reich. Hell no. When he called on Zach Taylor, or Press Taylor, excuse me. Said no. Stability. You know what stability is? Doug Peterson returns with Trevor Lawrence, Mike McCoy, Jim Bob Cooter, and Press Taylor. That's stability. That's adding to your offense. All the nuances, all the wrinkles, the tweaking, the understanding. Trevor Lawrence has gone 3 consecutive years with 3 different offenses. Nothing changes. For the most part, his skill guys are back with the addition of Calvin Ridley. I get it. They have to address tight end. They have to address a couple positions on the offensive line. But for the most part, the guys who are productive, the skill position players, are returning. On top of that, now you bring leadership. I ask you all the time. I've always done it, particularly in season when this franchise loses. Who are the leaders? Who was the last offensive leader been on this club? And people, Brandon Linder's a silent leader. Brandon Linder leads by example. Okay. They love Brandon Linder in the building. In my opinion, from the outside looking in, that's all I could give you. Brandon Linder had some of those traits, but I don't think he had the guys to the point where they were ready to run through a brick wall with him.
What about Gardner Minshew?
Short-lived.
Yeah,
for 1 month.
That's the thing, though. Like that whole leadership thing, it comes and goes. That if you're good, these guys are going to listen to you. If you're just a rah-rah guy, who cares? In the NFL, leadership, to me, it's you got to back it up.
Sergio Brown's the greatest example of that.
Exactly.
Everyone loves Sergio Brown. He'd do the best Ric Flairs, and he'd have everyone in the locker room, cutting up.
Missed tackles.
Yeah, but when you lose game after game after game, that goes away. Leaders are great players. And Trevor Lawrence took this upon himself to do this today. And look at all the fan. If you were a casual fan, and what I love, and this is my favorite part of what I do, is you, the fans. I've always said that. Honestly, for me, it's not Trevor Lawrence and it's not Doug Peterson. It's you, the insurance salesman. It's you in a cubicle all day, surrounded by that annoying guy that just will not stop talking. These are the people that I love. And you thought he was a bust. You may still have some reservations. Can he really be a top 5 guy? Can this guy really become a Pro Bowler? Can this guy become a Super Bowl winning quarterback? Well, he picked up a ton of fans today by being honest. And now it's crystal clear. At the age of 23, he is the leader of this football team. If he wasn't already, he clearly is the leader of this team now. So what an unbelievable letter that he wrote earlier today. I typically don't like gushy stories, but this isn't, and this is truth. This is fantastic. You need to read it, each and every one of you out there. You do. You need to give yourself a couple of minutes, if you haven't had an opportunity yet, and check out this story. It's in the Players Tribune, a letter to Jacksonville, brought to you by quarterback Trevor Lawrence.
1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
Jacksonville basketball welcomes Stetson in the Swisher Gym on Thursday. This is head coach Jordan Mincy. The oldest rivalry in the ASUN Conference resumes at 7 p.m. Listen to all the action on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
This month, the Key Buick GMC received 2.9% financing up to 60 months on available GMCs, $500 on all new vehicles for all active, retired, and listed in previous military. Check out the new Sierra Denali EV truck. Reserve yours now. As always, whenever you purchase a brand new vehicle from Key Buick GMC, it comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty. As always, we are professional grade. Key Buick GMC, Southside and Gate.
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, high banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500. at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at Daytona500.com.
The big game is in the near future, and Sonny's Barbecue is here to help. For your chance to win a barbecue feast for the big game, text Sonny's to 641-1010. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmaster since '68. For a chance to win 2 tickets to the Daytona 500 with Fan Zone passes February 19th, answer this trivia question. Who won the first Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Because injuries to muscles and ligaments don't show up on an x-ray, the insurance companies will use it as an excuse not to pay. But we work with doctors who can see what x-rays can't, giving you a case insurance companies can't ignore. Farah and Farah, here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect, support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Owen. I'm a cigarette.
Do you like being a cigarette?
No, I don't. Not really into killing thousands of people. Sorry, no filter.
Right.
What's your sign?
Pisces?
I'm a Cancer. Cigarette joke. But seriously, I do cause cancer. And heart disease. And strokes. I could go on forever. Unlike the people who smoke me.
The average smoker lives 10 years less than non-smokers. Quit today. Find out how at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Concrete floors don't have to be ugly and hard to clean. Whether it's a garage with cracks, tire marks, and failed epoxy, or any concrete surface that isn't beautiful and maintenance-free, Shark Coatings will transform it. Our coating and warranty are stronger, more durable, and longer lasting than any other on the market. And because Shark Coatings is 100% UV stable for life, it's perfect for any concrete surface outside as well. Shark Coatings will let you reclaim those wasted hours spent pressure washing your driveway, patios, and walkways. Hit us up on social media or call 904-519-5055 to set up your free estimate today.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line. Brought to you by the Accident Attorneys at Farah and Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's head to Philadelphia. Let's get ready for the Super Bowl, talk about the game, and some props. We bring in the one, the only. He is the Philly Godfather. Welcome.
What's up, Rick, man? I can't believe it's the end of the season already. NFL's about to finish up. It went by just way too fast.
Yeah, it has. And, blink twice, though, it'll be back. Everything goes through so fast nowadays. Before we get to the game and the props, did you hear the commissioner this afternoon?
No, I didn't hear what he said.
Well, he said the officiating is the best it's ever been.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all you got to do is look at that Bengals game.
Yeah.
And not only the call that they made, but the call that they missed on that last kick return, the block in the back, hitting Mahomes, hitting the kid out of bounds was justified, but everything else that led up to that, it was rough. I mean, he's got to say what he's got to say.
I've asked you this before, but I don't even know where to begin, but with legalized gambling now all across the country, could people get involved when a call is so blatantly wrong that it affects the outcome of a game and billions of dollars could be at hand?
No, I don't think so. I think all that's in the NFL contracts where they can basically do whatever they want, say whatever they want. It's their league. But things could change, but as of right now, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, okay. Let's get to the game. We've had a week and a half now to speculate. I certainly have read your comments on Twitter, so I know where you're going, but tell our listeners it's Philadelphia and Kansas City on Sunday. Who do you like and why?
Well, again, we're sitting in a good position. We had futures on the Eagles at the beginning of the year to win the NFC, to win the NFC Conference, and at 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. But we're still going to bet the game. This is really a very difficult game to handicap. Last week against San Francisco, my biggest game of the year, it was so easy to take the Eagles there against that bad offensive line. But this week, you got the two most important people on the field come Super Bowl Sunday, Andy Reid and a kid that walks on water sometimes, Patrick Mahomes, and he's on the Chiefs. And then when you look at the trenches where the game's usually won, this Eagles defensive line is arguably one of the best pass rushing teams in history. I mean, you look at their sack percentage, it's the best in the last 20 years. It's incredible what they're doing. And then you look at the offensive line, one of the best offensive lines I've ever seen. And Aaron Rodgers comes out and says it's the best offensive line he's seen in the last 20 years. So that's why this game opened up Kansas City -1.5. It's flipped over to Eagles as high as -2.5. Now it's back down to 1.5, 2. And it's really tough to get a gauge here on which team to bet on because, I've thrown this stat out before, but 87% of the time in the Super Bowl, the team that wins the game covers the spread. So if you're looking to take the dog, you take them on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to take the favorite, you just bet them, on the spread because they're going to cover the game. This is really tough to handicap this game. I bet the over 24 in the first half. Total, I'm expecting these teams to score some points in the first half. The Eagles averaged 21 points in the first half all season, and the way the Chiefs are probably going to play this because you never want to go down in the Super Bowl. I think Andy Reid doesn't defer the kick. I think they take the ball first if they win the coin toss. And with 2 weeks to prepare, he scores like on 80% of the first drives. So Andy Reid's been amazing with 2 weeks to prepare. So I'm expecting some scoring in the first half. I got some money on the Eagles on the money line. I laid 25 cents on the Eagles. But if the game gets to 3, I mean, how can you not come back and try and take some 3 on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? I mean, they've been there before. They've got the experience. And that kid's amazing. I mean, they're such a good team.
So you got 30-1 to win it, and that was preseason. Now you got Philly money line, but you'd like to meet them halfway with KC +3.
Yeah, if he gets there, I'll probably because it's a great number. I mean, if any Vegas spread is going to fall on the number during the Super Bowl, which most of them don't, it's probably going to be this one. Identical records. I mean, identical Pro Bowlers, identical points scored this year. These teams are like mirror images of each other. Offensively, number 1, number 2 in points per play, yards per play. Defensively, the Eagles obviously are better sack percentage and opponent yards per pass attempt. They rank number 1. Chiefs have struggled this year against teams with good pass defenses. So that's why I'm leading the Eagles here on the money line.
Yeah, very interesting. I do see that this Super Bowl pits the number 1 and number 2 teams in the NFL with sacks on the season. And, Jacksonville, even when Mahomes went down, they created pressure. Actually, most of their pressure was when he was healthy. They created very little pressure after his injury, and they couldn't get to him, no sacks. The other side, Jacksonville made 2 really bad mistakes, but they allowed Kansas City to go 3 for 3 with red zone scoring, and boy, that's a number that I keep looking at. Kansas City, 70% this year in the regular season. When they're inside the 20, they don't kick field goals. They score touchdowns.
Yeah, and the Eagles are going to have to find a way to stop that. And the Eagles ain't bad in the red zone either. But on the other side of the ball, Kansas City ranks 30th in opponent red zone defense.
Right.
So that's a big problem. The Eagles are ranked like top 10, I think, in that department.
Philly.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be a wild game. It's hard to, the matchups are crazy. Eagles running the ball, they average, 147 yards rushing this year. If the Chiefs can't stop them from running the game, from running the ball, they're going to keep Mahomes off the field. That's another thing they got to worry about. This Eagles running game, it's one of the best in football.
No doubt about it. All right, Philly Godfather, give us your information out there so our listeners can follow everything that you're doing here before Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Philly Godfather. You can stop by the PhillyGodfather.com.
All right, what do you make of these props? When they all come out, I almost feel like they're there to kind of confuse the gambler, that there's so many, and your eyes keep moving in different directions. Are there certain props that you just say, no way, I'm not even going to look at them?
The ones that offer massive odds, you got a better shot at playing the lottery.
Okay.
I like the ones minus 110, minus 120, plus 120. Every once in a while, I might look to jump out there a little bit, but I'll bet it's a lot smaller. One bet that I bet that I'm getting 10-1 odds on is Josh Sweat to make the first sack of the game. I think they're going to concentrate on Reddick, and he's on the outside, and the strength of that Chiefs offensive line is the interior. So, and he's got the speed to catch Mahomes. So I like that. I nibbled on that a little bit. I took the Kansas City Chiefs plus a half a point in the first quarter. If it's a tie, you win. If the Chiefs are up after a quarter, you win. And if the Eagles are, obviously winning, you lose. But the way Andy Reid has come out, off 2 weeks to prepare, you expect the Chiefs to score some points. So I like that one. I bet Hurts anytime TD's been making money from me all year with this prop. I'm betting in almost every game. I'm expecting Kelsey to get a lot of passes because of that Eagles pass rush. They're going to be in there quick. So I bet over 6.5 receptions for Kelsey. And on the other side of the ball, Chiefs pass rush, they're pretty good as well. So I bet Dallas Goedert over 4.5 receptions. What else did I bet? I bet the Chiefs field goal kicker to have over 1.5 field goals. I think the Eagles can make some more stops on the defensive side than Kansas City's defense can. Chris Jones under 3.5 tackles and assists. I bet that as well.
Do you do any of the, comparison final round of the, final round of the Phoenix Open? This particular golfer they have him as a 70, and then you can go to a Devontae Smith. Will he have more than 70 yards receiving? Do you ever do those kind of compare and contrast ones?
Nah, that's not my style. I know there's guys that dabble in it, but I try to break down the game as best possible.
Yeah.
Do a ton of research, and that's just extra work. You got to go to a different sport. You got to run different numbers. There's so much going on during Super Bowl. If you spread yourself too thin, you might end up losing money.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, it's been a pleasure. I know we'll talk again around March Madness, but Philly Godfather, thank you so much for a wonderful season here throughout college and the NFL. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me on. Good luck to everyone, and hope you guys make a ton of money.
There he goes. Thank you very much. As always, it's a pleasure to have on the Philly Godfather, who he had preseason Philly to win the East, Philly to win the NFC, and Philly to win the Super Bowl. He had Philly to win the Super Bowl at 30-1 odds. Okay? So he's sitting on that. But that's not enough. He's going to play first half over 24. He's going to play Philly money line. Okay? And then he's going to try to meet it halfway to get Kansas City to cover the 3.
And Kansas City plus a half in the first quarter.
Kansas City plus a half in the first quarter. He thinks Josh Sweat of Philadelphia gets the first sack. He's got 10-1 odds there. He's got a Jalen Hurts TD. I love those odds. I can't imagine they're all that good.
Well, then, yeah, it has to be rushing.
Rushing TD, right? Correct.
Or catching, which he's not going to.
Love the Kelsey over 6.5. You have to. The guy, he's been an absolute beast. And go to 4.5. That is what he gave us. So we'll do this the next 2 days. We'll do it with Rafael Esparza tomorrow night. He'll join us live from Las Vegas. Then we'll check in with the Philly Rooster. On Friday, he will check in from Las Vegas as well. So what are your feelings, if at all, on props at the Super Bowl?
I only do prop bets during the Super Bowl, and I'll only do fun ones just like for a few bucks with my friends. Like last year, me and my girlfriend put like $20 on Snoop Dogg to be shown at halftime smoking weed, and we got screwed out of that because they didn't show him on TV smoking weed, but the next day there was like photographs of him sitting down getting high.
Oh, it was on the Twitter machine.
My money.
It was on the Twitter machine.
Yeah,
I know
exactly. So like that kind of stuff is fun, but like real gambling wise, I'm sticking with the game. I always try to put like a hundo on the game just for fun every year, and I like the Chiefs.
There's always, and I know there are, imagine my embarrassment, and I apologize. I almost went out and said Super Bowl party. Okay, I don't want
big game party.
I don't need Roger Goodell calling our bosses here. It's clearly the big game party.
Big game festivity.
For those of you who don't know, the NFL that we love have threatened to sue churches. Okay, as early as 2008. When their congregation was going to put together food and beverage in a game in a very small purse. I think it cost like $5 to get in.
Say probably $2 to get in.
But the NFL. I mean, that's a money stream for them. They needed that revenue. I always love at the big game parties and stuff with the guy or gal rest it all on the coin toss. Which to me is the most absurd thing in the world. You know, why not just, I guess it's the same thing as taking your money and dropping it on roulette, red or black. You know, where's it going to land?
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah.
Here's a stat for you on the coin toss. The last 6 teams in the Super Bowl to win the coin toss have lost the game.
Very intriguing.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. All right, let's grab some of your thoughts on that. Best way to get a hold of us is on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Folks, there's a lot for you to choose from so far tonight, whether it's Super Bowl in props, whether it's my opinion after listening to the Commissioner, Roger Goodell, today, that I flat out want to see one team get totally, royally screwed and have the other team win the Super Bowl, just to stick it to the NFL to fix how god-awful the officiating is. If you want to comment on that. And also, Trevor Lawrence, man. I mean, just absolutely, it was James Patterson-esque what he did today, as far as I am concerned. So let me know what you think. 641-1010 on the text line. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
I'm Brett Musburger, and you are listening live to Jacksonville Sports Radio 1010 XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
This month, Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet wants to show all our customers just how much we love them. How can we prove our love? Well, how about purchasing with a peace of mind? Every new vehicle comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, and every certified pre-owned comes with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus, this month only, every lady who purchases a vehicle will receive a free $500 gas card. Free gallons for Valentine's Day? I love it. This month, love yourself and love your car. Head to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been around since 1985. Jax has trusted John's Auto, whether you need routine maintenance or an engine overhaul. John's Auto, they can do it all. We service all makes and models of cars and trucks and even work on diesels. I've been visiting them since I returned to Jacksonville in 2006. Check them out today. John's Auto on Arlington Road, 904-743-3857.
Don't miss the Players' Championship March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Invite your friends and family to enjoy the ultimate fan experience, complete with bites from your favorite local restaurants and front row access to the PGA Tour's best players. While on site, be sure to visit the expanded PGA Tour fan shop to stock up on this year's championship gear. Secure your spot at the iconic stadium course today. Tickets and parking passes are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Exit is now United Real Estate Gallery. Same leadership, new name. Expect the same great services for buyers and sellers. How about this? 100% compensation plans available for real estate agents. You deserve more? Find your freedom with United. Exit is now United Real Estate Gallery. Pretty incredible. Join UnitedGallery.com to learn more about a career in real estate.
Get Gators play-by-play on 1010XL.
Gators!
Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Chomp, chomp, chomp!
On the home of the Florida Gators.
Go Gators!
1010XL.
Some listeners like you are experiencing firsthand the amazing pain relief from QC Kinetics, even calling your favorite radio host to share the good news.
QC Kinetics. I had my right ankle worked on 4 months ago. Awesome.
That's great,
look
Mick.
at that, man.
Yes, they worked on my elbow.
Every day, the QC Kinetics medical professionals treat patients like Mick with the latest regenerative therapies, using natural biologics concentrated right at the hurting joint. No surgery, no downtime.
I'm telling you, QC Kinetics is the way to go if you don't want to go under the knife and suffer for 3 months.
Yep.
It was very easy, as you well know, with your elbow.
I'm telling
Anyways,
you.
You guys are awesome.
Mick, appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for the phone call. Really appreciate it. I'm so glad that QC Kinetics did some wonders for you. I mean, regenerative medicine, man, that's the thing these days. Living proof right there.
Call QC Kinetics now for your consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
WJXL FM, Jacksonville Beach.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
Catch Mia's quick hits on the video and social channels of 1010XL, driven by Arlington Toyota.
Finding a good, honest, hardworking plumbing company is hard these days, but it doesn't have to be. The only company you need to remember is Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services. We want to be your go-to plumbing and septic company for all your needs. Check out our 5-star Google reviews online and see what over 500 customers just like you are saying about Duck Duck Rooter.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Michael Irvin got pinched, and he's been sent home. Apparently had an altercation with a woman in, I believe it was a hotel lobby. I remember when we were out there a few years ago, Warren Sapp got pinched. He got sent home for good.
Two legends from Miami. His was a little different. His was apparently he thought he was being overcharged by an escort, and I think he got a little too abusive.
Cost him his gig.
He'll be all right. So will Michael Irvin.
He's breaking news now. Didn't he break a story like 2 weeks ago that the Bears were going to trade Justin Fields?
Yes, he says that's what he's hearing.
I hadn't heard anything out of Warren Sapp in since
4
then.
years.
Since that story.
And now he's back doing his best Schefter impression.
Michael Irvin now, we'll see what ends up happening. You ever heard Michael Irvin before explain the difference between a joint and a roach? You ever hear that video of him?
I gotta get this.
Yeah, this is going back way, way, way back. But that came in today. Before I get to some of these on the text line of the reaction, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. You and I had a long conversation yesterday about Aaron Rodgers and his 4-day darkness retreat.
Deprivation.
That he's going on. And from what I understand, it's just going to be him alone, pitch dark. There's a little tiny window opening where food and drinks can be dropped off, but that's it. However, What website is it? It is sportsbetting.ag has offered these odds, okay? What substances will Aaron Rodgers consume during darkness retreat? Number 1, mushrooms, 3-1 odds. DMT, 3-1 odds. Is it ketamine? Ketamine, 5-1.
K, yes.
Okay, Special K. Nitrous oxide, 5-1.
That's a whole different.
Okay, nitrous oxide. Tobacco or nicotine, 6-1.
He's not that kind of guy.
Marijuana, 6-1. LSD, 8-1. Ecstasy, 9-1. Alcohol, all the way down to 12-1.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do when you're in a dark room by yourself for 4 days. You probably don't want to drink. You also don't want to take ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the last kind of high you want in that situation. You're going to be wanting to dance, get up, lights, TV, definitely music.
Right.
But I can definitely see LSD. I could see mushrooms. I could see dimethyltryptophan or whatever it is. DMT. Tryptophan, isn't that the stuff in turkey, actually? What else is on there? Weed. He's probably a weed smoker.
Well, weed can mellow you out. Certainly you'll sleep, but you're going to get hungry, right? You're going to get the munchies.
Well, I mean, there is food. They just drop like you're in a prisoner through a latch in the door.
But he didn't have a phone. He can't dial. He can't order a pizza at 2 a.m.
That's true. You got to be responsible.
But no matter where he's going, that and Duval, the only two places in America where you can't get a pizza at 2 a.m.
He did say that I can leave whenever I want.
Yeah.
Yes, it is scheduled for 4 days, but if I'm done, I'm done.
Heroin, 25-1. Cocaine, 33-1.
That's not what. That is not a cocaine high.
Methamphetamine is 50-1, and steroids, 100-1.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I would bet against him doing steroids.
3866 Ballou. If I'm in war in a foxhole, there are 5 people I want with me. My dad, Christian Kirk, Aloha Khan, Fortner, and the General Trevor Lawrence. Let's go. Give me your. Actually, I asked your opinion. You said you've read more of that stuff.
Well, yeah, I was just going through. They have a lot of interesting people in the Players Tribune, including what's his name from. Here we go. So they have a whole thing written up by Jamarcus Russell. They got one from...
Does he talk about blowing $25,000 at a
sure
TGI Fridays?
This is the truth, that y'all don't know a damn thing about Jamarcus Russell, he says. John Wall, there's one written by him. Jeter, of course.
John Wall get hurt.
He's back, but he sat out for like a year. Then John Wall's career is weird. Like, he went to Houston, and then they decided... We're better off not playing this guy at all. Like, he just sat on the bench.
College.
So good. He was so good the first few years of his career.
Yeah.
Injuries, and he's just not a good teammate. And nowadays, if you can't shoot in the NBA, you're pretty worthless.
A lot of our listeners are telling us that Rodgers is a big fan of psychedelics, okay? And I'm not going to question our listeners. So... Guy asked us if he's going to be licking toads.
Toads and eating mushrooms.
Yeah.
Definitely eating mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Licking toads is very... I always heard about that when I was a kid. I never knew if it worked. Never tried it, I guess.
As much as I love them, can you imagine the individual who first cracked open a raw oyster and thought it was a good idea to eat them?
I've heard you say that before.
Okay.
That kind of blew my mind.
That's the one that I can't get up. Mushrooms are not too far behind because
they're growing. You could just kind of grab a mushroom and eat it. Oyster, you got to...
But so many of them can make you sick or kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they've been doing it forever. I mean, hell, Grace Slick wrote about it in the early 70s. But, I mean, who was the man or the woman who had it in them to find an oyster, crack it, and eat it?
Definitely a caveman. I feel like that's definitely caveman type activity.
I wonder if there's seafood that people have tried and they failed miserably.
Like, are we still discovering food?
Like lobster or like raw, if you're going to eat a raw clam, why won't you eat a raw lobster or crab legs or things along?
No, there was definitely some trial and error.
Raw shrimp. There's certain foods that people eat. There's certain foods that out of the sea that people do not eat.
That's my question. Are we still discovering foods? Has everything been discovered that's edible? Think about that when your 4-day retreat.
Some of those people, like, you ever watch Swamp People? They like collect. They collect
a little bit.
They collect like roadkill. I mean, some of the stuff they put in like a soup. It doesn't matter what it is. They're just going to throw it in there and churn it.
Our listeners letting us know, acting like I don't know that it grows on cow manure, as if I haven't been shrooming before. I'm from Ocala, sir.
Yeah, that's the shroom capital of the world.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
Nothing better than a nice Friday night, 2 a.m. with your boys in a cow field picking up turds.
28-59, Ballou, I love your idea with the Super Bowl. I would love for it to happen. Refs affect the game with bad calls and calls that aren't made. If my opinion on this could really get delivered to the masses, I wonder how many people would sign up for it under the consideration that 1 out of every 2 people we look at are probably betting on the Super Bowl. All right, so that's going to affect
50 million people.
Yeah, that's going to affect. I mean, if there was no betting, I think the percentage would be a little bit higher. But again, I'm making this point with an emphasis somewhat towards betting. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
So it's like you can't have it both ways. So I don't think the percentage would be that high because folks are wagering on games. But, I mean, for me, this Super Bowl, it's just going to be a fun watch. I
hope.
I do not care. This is one of those games where it doesn't matter to me either way who wins it.
As a Brady guy, though, you don't look at Mahomes as... I mean, it's so far away, but you don't look at Mahomes as a guy who might one day be able to overtake Brady's legacy, and so you root against him in Super Bowls?
You know what? Honestly, I'm the type of guy that I think I'd end up pulling for him. I found myself last night pulling for the King.
A lot of people said that.
Okay.
A lot of haters said that.
Records for me are there to be broken. I mean, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. Patrick Mahomes is 27, heading towards 28. If Patrick Mahomes starts to make one of these phenomenal runs, yeah, I think I would end up rooting for him. Yeah,
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I just love greatness like that.
Yeah.
So I always end up finding myself cheering for Mahomes in these type of situations.
Maybe it gets him out of there early. Maybe if he wins one tomorrow or Sunday and wins one in a year or two, maybe that's 3. He's got that.
He's like, I want to play baseball.
He's got that wife at home that I'm sure he wants to spend all his time with.
Got a lot to talk about.
She's so nice. But, that would, for this team in this city, it's about getting to that level, and it's about navigating your way through the AFC. It's
a minefield.
It is.
To say the least.
We're not going to have a chance to get to it tonight, but I was looking at 11 quarterbacks on 11 different teams, and maybe we'll do this next week at some point. We'll kind of we'll prognosticate, where these 11 quarterbacks are going to end up this year, for which particular team they're going to end up. It starts with Aaron Rodgers, and then you go all the way through. It's really fascinating. I think it's going to be one of the most incredible seasons we've seen in quite some time with the massive turnover at the quarterback position. All right, all this talk about drug use has me a little bit out of sorts. Do we need to take
dizzy?
Are we behind on a break?
Yes,
we're behind on a break. There's a surprise. So let's take one. Much more from you on the other side.
At 1010XL,
wax on, wax off.
Our sports experts undergo extensive training before they broadcast.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Hey.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Wax on.
1010XL.
Wax off.
Honda has
has done it again with their all-new 2023 lineup for SUVs. Passport, Pilot, HRV, CRV, and the popular CRV Hybrid. We have SUVs for any budget. Visit your local Honda dealer. We're dealing.
Waste Management is paying a $5,000 bonus to CDL drivers and heavy truck mechanics for jobs in Jacksonville, Green Cove Springs, Callahan, and St. Augustine. Apply online at wm.com/careers.
Equal opportunity employer.
Fact, we all want to feel better, especially when our joints hurt. Are you stuck on the sidelines but want to get back in the game of life? My friend Dr. Alan Nathans has a no-needle regenerative clinic for people with degenerated arthritic joints, like bone-on-bone knees, shoulders, hips, and more. He uses no-needle soft wave tissue regeneration technology that activates your own stem cells to grow brand new tissue. Long-term results. Don't do another cortisone injection. Dance at 50, golf at 60, river run at 70. Yes, yes, and yes. Check out Dr. Nathans at drnathans.com.
At Big Chief Tire, they guarantee quality service with every visit. Visit the family-owned auto repair shop today for new tire installation, rotation, repairs, balancing, and more. Frank Frangie here. Big Chief Tire's skilled technicians proudly offer solutions at a price that fits your budget. Invest in tires and services you can trust with Big Chief today. Visit the Bold City's best auto repair shop at BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at a Big Chief Tire near you. We keep Jacks rolling.
Take an inside look into the swamp with your Gator translator, Lauren Brooks, on 1010XL.
I'm Lauren Brooks. Join me for the Gator Report on 1010XL as I break down the latest storylines in Gator Nation.
Brought to you by Darley's Plumbing, where quality counts.
This is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about how God never fails us. In the Bible, Christ says this: I will in no way fail you or leave you without support. This is so important to remember because we can have the attitude, where is God when I need him? Why is this problem happening to me? No, just because your mind is saying one thing doesn't mean that God isn't going to do what he said. God has never failed us in the past. He's not about to start right now.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. What's better than beer? Cold beer. Put your company logo on a custom koozie. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Think mortgage rates are still super high? Think again. Rates have plummeted to 5-month lows. Hey, Prosser here. Call my friends at Loan Pronto now to see how low rates are. It may be time to do that refinancing you've been putting off, or time to get back to house hunting. If you're like a lot of people, you have way too much credit card debt right now, and you're getting fleeced with 20+% interest charges every month. Or maybe your current home rate is over 6%. Listen, you get a quick, easy refi at Loan Pronto, wipe out all those cards, close in about 14 days, and cut your overall expenses by $500 a month or more. Right now, Loan Pronto is doing refis with APRs in the 4s. Call now to take advantage of this big rate drop. Get those credit cards to zero, start that home improvement project, or get out of that 7% loan you were forced into last year. Call Loan Pronto, 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Get 2 full racks of baby back ribs with 2 sides, just $29.99. And only at Woody's Barbecue, and only the weekend before Valentine's Day through February 14th.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat.
It all begins with Speed Weeks and the 65th running of the Daytona 500. February 15th through the 19th. Answer this question for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500 February 19th. Who won the first Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who won the first Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for a chance to win.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Collecting clothes, moonshine, washing line.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
People ask for psychedelics. We're going to deliver here some old Arnold Lane with the late Sid Barrett, who just went completely crazy. and of course was replaced by David Gilmour. 11:38 says, here we go. This is the best one yet. Ballou, the refs will not affect a Super Bowl until the Jaguars are in it. Book it. Tough to argue that particular point. 1675, Ballou, how can Mahomes possibly challenge Brady's Super Bowl record when Trevor Lawrence will have at least 6 wins over the next 10 years or so?
And 4 losses in the Super Bowl. 10 straight Super Bowl appearances.
Well, he says 6 wins in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too crazy.
That's another thing about this whole thing, because Brady went, 7-3. He lost to Philly, and he lost to New York twice.
Yeah.
There are people out there. Vito Stellino used to write for the Florida Times-Union. He used to cover the Jags. I remember him writing this, that he thought, instead of Belichick and Brady, he thought Chuck Noll and Terry Bradshaw going 4 for 4 is more impressive. So, according to Vito, you can lose in the regular season or get knocked out of the divisional round or get knocked out of a championship round, not make it to the Super Bowl. That's more impressive than going 10 times and winning 7?
That's sort of not the same numbers-wise, but it's sort of the LeBron-MJ argument.
Absolutely it is.
Like LeBron went to the finals, 10 or 11 times or something. MJ was 6 for 6, though. So people look at it, that's better. So it's like, so should LeBron have crashed out in the conference finals then?
I remember when Jordan in the old Garden had 66 or 63 or whatever it was against Boston, and Boston still beat him in that series.
And that was his first playoff series, I believe.
It was very early.
Game 1 went to overtime and he lost, but yeah, he had 60-something points.
Someone just asked for Sid Barrett. We gave it to him. There you go. I asked a moment ago.
I didn't realize that was the Pink Floyd's first single.
Yeah, that was really early in their career. Pink Floyd was weird, too, because they were all from the Silver Spoon. I remember when I first heard about Pink Floyd, some guys were like, yeah, they're war veterans who write about the war, and they're massive drug users. Sid Barrett was, but they all experimented to some extent, but it was more, they weren't like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, Roger Waters said the music was it's trippy music, but they weren't on LSD making the music.
Now, obviously, their listeners were,
yes,
and those who attended their concerts were, but it was a little bit of a difference there, as far as I'm concerned. All right, we got more thoughts coming up from you. Let me go over this because it's very newsworthy, and I spent about 30 seconds on it at the beginning of the program. But Mike Norvell is in now through 2029. And here's where I am with it, okay? I think he's the guy. I do. He did a great job this past year to make them 10-3 and finish number 10 in America is really promising. It is. But it happened so fast. A year ago at this time, we were having conversations about the fact that Mike Norvell cannot recruit. Mike Norvell is on the hot seat. Florida State is probably faced to have him for at least 2 more years because they can't afford to pay the buyout. That was the conversation. All right? If there's one thing that I am consistent with, it's my memory of what's been said, okay? And this was the case all the way through, the beginning of the season when Florida State started 4-0. I love what he did. I love the progress. However, he's 18-16. He's 2 games above 500. And you just gave this man an average of 8. I'm told it tops off at 11. I still haven't seen what the buyout is. He was already under contract for a few more years. Now you extend him through 2029. There's still some things that I want to see. I think Mike Norvell needs to become a better in-game coach. There's been a lot of things in his short career that I have second-guessed as far as his play calling, particularly his play calling around goal line. Okay, short yardage plays. Too much razzle-dazzle, if you will, going for it on fourth down. I think that, to me, that's a major issue. I'm still nervous about him with incoming freshmen. That has not hit the plateau that it needs. Now, there's not a school in America outside of maybe USC who has taken advantage of the transfer portal the way that Mike Norvell has. And I'm well aware of the incoming class. It looks like he's going to plug in some offensive linemen. He's going to plug in a cover corner. He's going to plug in a couple of tight ends. I mean, he's done a really good job, okay? A couple defensive tackles. So I love what he's doing with the transfer portal, but I don't think you can live on the transfer portal year after year after year. You hopefully get away with it this year. You hopefully can get away with it next year. But he needs to start getting the recruits that Bowden got and what Fisher got. He needs 5 stars. He needs 4 stars. I know he brought in a 5-star wide receiver. I'm aware of what he's brought in, but it's not enough. Okay, Florida State should be a top 5 recruiting class. So those are my only reservations. It's a little bit for me like what forced this so early, and this is my alma mater. And again, a year ago they were crying poor, and it was basically in a lot of people's minds, you're still paying off Willie. Now you got Norvell. We got to find out if he's going to make, if he's going to make it, and he's going to be around for quite some time. So today's extension absolutely surprised me.
I have the buyout numbers, by the way.
What do you have?
So if he is fired in year 1, it's $5 million, 2, 4, 4, 6 for year 4, and then it kind of goes down 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. So it's not too much. It looks like the most you would have to pay is $6 million.
Who said that?
This is 247. Knowles 247. 98 minutes ago. Says the value of the annual, or here it is. Below is the liquidated damages amount owed by the employee as consequently of early termination of the employment agreement.
But it would be, if you fired him this year, it would be the 6, the 5, the 4. It would be all of those combined.
All of that added up.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be around 25-ish.
Yeah. Before I got on air tonight, I had not seen those figures, but I'll take your word for it. They're obviously very reputable over there. So hopefully that doesn't. Yeah, Chris Nee. Yeah, absolutely. I've had Chris on several times. As a matter of fact, Chris. What I like about him is he does a lot of basketball. Even you want to know an honest story, because I'm honest to a fault. I did something today. I actually did it on Monday that I don't think I've ever done before. Okay, there are certain radio stations across the country that I go on as a guest for routinely, and I go on to talk about the Jaguars. I go on to talk a ton about Florida State football. Well, there's a few places around the country that have me on for Florida State basketball. And in Syracuse, I got the obligatory text on Monday. Can you come on and talk Florida State hoops with us? I'm like, bro,
no,
I ain't coming on and talking about that crap. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't even mention them on my own show. And I'm here 150 miles down the road. I'm like, that product is so bad. It is so awful. I don't feel like going on Syracuse radio or Buffalo, whatever the hell they were in that part of the, that part of New York.
They are winning against the Orange right now.
Yeah, well, whatever.
24-19.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm going to sit this one out. I'll be happy to come on next time you want to talk Florida State football, or if the Bills are playing the Jags and you want to talk Jaguar football. But obviously I read about them. That there have been times, man, where I have flipped off the TV, and it's like, it's so bad. Have you ever had a team that's been so bad that you don't even get aggravated?
Oh, yeah. Hurricanes football has done that for me the last few years. I mean, when you're just losing to teams like Middle Tennessee State, you honestly just have to laugh.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take that same approach this year with the Red Sox.
But last time I thought the Red Sox were going to be really horrible. They won the East.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Look what they did last year.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, baseball's crazy like that.
All right, so we need to take one more.
Yes.
All right, final break of the night. Hacker Nation will join you at 8 o'clock. We are with you tomorrow. Not at Mr. Chubby's. We're here in the studio, and Friday as well, 6 to 8.
The home of Jaguars fans.
Follow every play, interview, and press conference.
Duval came out, supported us, and that's what we need.
1010XL, the home of Jaguars fans.
Don't miss the Players' Championship March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Invite your friends and family to enjoy the ultimate fan experience, complete with bites from your favorite local restaurants and front row access to the PGA Tour's best players. While on site, be sure to visit the expanded PGA Tour Fan Shop to stock up on this year's championship gear. Secure your spot at the iconic stadium course today. Tickets and parking passes are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Hey, Jack's Beats, Jeff Loggeman here. Hungry for the best brisket, pulled pork, spare ribs, jalapeno poppers, banana pudding? The Bearded Pig is there for you on 3rd Street to feed your whole crew. And don't worry for the folks in town, we're still here in San Marco. The Bearded Pig, Southern Barbecue and Beer Garden.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Did you know DuckDuckRooter is the area's go-to plumber? A 5-star Google-rated company, DuckDuckRooter can take care of all of your plumbing repairs and upgrades. Need to switch from septic over to city sewer? Call the Duck. How about water heater repairs and replacement? You're just a duck away, or call away, for DuckDuckRooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Brunch with the Tour takes you behind the ropes for an exclusive look at the PGA Tour with Tour Insiders.
It feels like a major, it plays like a major, and we all treat it like a major.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation, 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Servicing every customer like they're famous. But what does that mean for you? It comes down to the famous philosophy. You'll find a consistency at all 20 locations in friendly service, honest pricing, and realistic time expectations. They know when you find someone you trust to maintain your vehicle, keep it running right, and lasting longer, you'll stick with them. And that's the famous philosophy at Famous Automotive in Quick Lube. Ask about a fleet account for your business.
Honey, I've really been wanting to get Botox for a long time. How about a gift card for Valentine's Day this year?
Why? You look great. What if you come out looking like one of those Real Housewives on TV?
Don't worry. My friend recommended St. John's Aesthetics and Wellness Center. Their goal is to keep me looking natural. You can call or stop by to get a gift card. It's 710-0453, and it's just off 95 and 210 behind the Goodyear inside Spa Me. It's St. John's Aesthetics and Wellness Center. That's 710-0453.
Prosser here. The drill will be live from Lifetime Enclosures this Friday. Come say hey, but while here, make sure you ask about all the awesome specials that are going to be happening during the open house all day Saturday. We'll even have a raffle for Rockville tickets and breakfast from our friends at Chick-fil-A.
Listen up, high school seniors. It's scholarship time. The annual Empowering Greatness Scholarship from Farah and Farah is being offered again. 5 students will receive 2 years' worth of tuition to a Florida college, university, or trade school. If you're making a positive impact in your community and are no stranger to overcoming challenges, we want to hear from you. Learn more at farandfarah.com/scholarship. Jacksonville.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Florida State 29, Syracuse 25, 2:16 to play. Matthew Cleveland with a turnover. It's the first time I mentioned him this year. Let's see, 7 turnovers so far for the Noles. My goodness. 8-16, 6-7 in conference. Yeah, their non-conference schedule. I mean, they lost 9 of their first 10 or something crazy like that. Florida's got a big game. That's coming on in the AM at 8:30. Pre-game, tip at 9. Gators at Bama. Florida got a huge win a week ago, and they let one get away over the weekend at Kentucky. They lost 72-67 after knocking off number 2 Tennessee, 67-54. Gators are a bubble team at 13-10, 6-4 in conference. I was actually going over this the other day. Believe it or not, I was. And the Gators have 8 games left. I think without blinking, they win at least 4 of them, okay? They should knock off Vanderbilt, Mississippi, Vanderbilt, and LSU. Just showing up, they should win those. Now, tonight, number 3, Bama, tough putt. I think they're a 9.5-point dog. Going to Arkansas, it's a roadie. I still think going to Vanderbilt is not going to be difficult for them. Going to Georgia, okay, it's a rivalry. So, 4-4, but if they can go like a 5-3, that puts them at 18-13. That may be enough. You may have to win a conference tournament game. You may have to win a second. And, I read bracketology today. You're talking about 42 teams basically fighting for 30 spots. And you know the way things work. If you're a non-Power 5 conference team and you're nowhere near the rankings, but another team in your conference is, and all of a sudden you win the conference tournament, then all of a sudden, that takes away one of those other at-large teams because that other small conference team, if they're that good, or mid-major, finds themselves in as an at-large. They have a better resume. But it's going to be a lot of fun, once we get there. I'm not ready yet. Not on the 8th of February. But, I will be sooner or later. 9225 says, Ballou, I understand. Well, he goes on to say, hell no. Trevor ain't winning. When we were talking about the AFC quarterbacks here that he's going to have to face, he also goes on to say, how did Breeze and Rodgers only go to 1 Super Bowl in the NFC? It's mind-boggling. I understand Phillip Rivers not making it in the AFC with Brady and Manning, and he mentions Big Ben Flacco.
How about Stafford never even made it to the playoffs except once until he moved?
How the hell did Breeze and Rodgers?
It's
who do they have to go through? Well, Nick Foles made it.
Yeah.
Garoppolo made it.
Flacco won. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Stafford made it.
That's why beating the Chiefs with Mahomes on one leg, we talked about this, was the opportunity was there. You just can't act like you're going to get back to this point every year. It's easy to feel like that, but it's hard to do it.
Yeah, I made the comment last year that I thought Burrow would be a one-hit wonder, kind of like
Marino.
Dan Marino, but I would like to take those comments back if allowed. We'll see. I'm just, last year Stafford beat Burrow. The year before that, it was Brady, right, beating Mahomes. The year before that, it was Mahomes beating Garoppolo. The year before that, it was Brady beating Jared Goff. And Goff had a real good year in Detroit.
What a terrible Super Bowl that was.
It was. It was 13-3 Super Bowl. But Goff kind of put up the same numbers that Stafford always did in Detroit. Then it was Foles over Brady. Brady over Matt Ryan. Peyton Manning over Cam Newton. Tom Brady over Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson over Peyton Manning. Joe Flacco over Colin Kaepernick.
Wow, that seems like 25 years ago.
Russell Wilson.
Wasn't that the game with the blackout?
Maybe. Joe Flacco beat Colin Kaepernick in the 2012 Super Bowl. Eli Manning over Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers over Ben Roethlisberger. Drew Brees over Peyton Manning. Ben Roethlisberger over Kurt Warner. Eli Manning over Tom Brady. All right, I'm mentioning nothing but Hall of Famers here. Peyton Manning beat Rex Grossman. That was the year that I was getting ready to leave Chicago. The following season,
Devin Hester opened the game with a touchdown return.
But these NFC quarterbacks, it's an interesting point. If you go to when Donovan McNabb played here, right? Donovan McNabb, Tom Brady here in the Super Bowl in Jacksonville. You look at the AFC quarterbacks. It's Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger for the most part. Okay? You get to the NFC, you go from Donovan McNabb to Matt Hasselbeck to Rex Grossman, Eli Manning, Kurt Warner, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, Colin Kaepernick, Russell Wilson again, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom Brady, and Matthew Stafford.
A lot of those guys aren't even in the league anymore, or are not in the NFC anymore. Like, it's unfair that the Jags have to be in the AFC right now. Because there's some hard hitters, man. The NFC is just like, hey, it could be a new team every year.
There's only...
And I don't think the Eagles are going to be some like power that we see in NFC title games every year.
I'm eliminating Nick Foles and I'm eliminating Joe Flacco because they're backup quarterbacks. Okay, there's only 4 starting quarterbacks right now in the league that have won a Super Bowl. Mahomes can win his second. You've got Rodgers, Stafford, and Russell Wilson.
And Stafford's barely in the league.
Well, yeah, he's got
I don't know how
issues.
much longer he's got.
Yeah, but you know, and if Jalen Hurts wins, then he becomes quarterback number 5.
What an odd statistic.
Rodgers is 39. I think after his 4 days in his hut, I absolutely expect him to play at least one more season. Yeah, he could play 2 or 3, but he's certainly staring at the end of the road. Stafford, Stafford's the one guy in the league. Every time you see him, it's his wife and his kids. You really get the feeling that he's a huge family man. He's made a lot of money. He was a former top pick. He's got. I just don't know how much more the desire is there to play. My guess would be that with Matt Stafford, you're probably looking at maybe 2 or 3 more years. Let me look up his age. He's 35. He just turned 35. Actually, what's the date today? He turned 35 yesterday. February 7th. What day is it? Is today the 8th?
Mm-hmm.
So he just turned 35. I'm guessing a few more years. I could be dead wrong. Russell Wilson, well, you already saw what happened now with Sean Payton. Russell Wilson, I guess, had his own quarterback coach and some of his own people in the building. No wonder so many people are now
not fans of him.
Brady did that with his nutritionalist, and that caused
TB12 guy.
That caused some commotion.
And he was eventually not let at the facility.
Right.
And people think that's part of the reason why he had beef with Belichick at the end. And Alex,
was it Gonzalez?
Something Spanish.
I forget the gentleman's name. But with Russell Wilson here, it just makes you kind of, makes you wonder. Contractually speaking, man, he signed up for 5 more years? And then you got Mahomes, who, obviously could do this for 10 plus years. Patrick Mahomes is 27. He will not be 28 until September 17th. Trevor Lawrence turns 24 in October. So
Alex Guerrero, by the way.
Alex Guerrero. There you go. That's going to do it for us. I don't check the text line, so if you want to comment on anything you heard, please get me on Twitter. That is Ballou1010XL. As I do say, I got so many responses tonight on the text line brought to you by Lifetime of Coaches. I didn't get an opportunity to respond to many of you, but I always thank you for contributing. For JJ, Hacker Nation's up next. I'm Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow at 6.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL.
After taking down number 2 Tennessee, the Gators get